Okay, good evening. How you guys doing? We have a fascinating night ahead of us. I'll start by introducing myself. My name is Paz. Paz Lagai is the full name. And I'm a speaker for Arachim. We have the honor and privilege of being hosted by the Dvora Hotel organization in order to do some kiruv, to bring some Jewish passion into people's hearts and into our own. We're starting tonight actually a series of 4 meetings. This is the first of which we'll discuss money. The whole concept, not just the cash, not just the money, but the whole concept of money, wealth, shefa, prosperity. Okay? We're going to discuss it from a practical point of view. We're going to discuss it from a Jewish point of view. We're going to discuss it with actual advices. And if all goes well, I have a little surprise for our boy Yonatan. Yonatan, you with me? We're actually going to have a guest speaker one of these following evenings. I'm trying to get one of my friends who's business coach. He's one of the leading business coaches in Israel to come speak.
What's his name?
Avi Dan.
I've heard about it.
Oh, there you go. He put out a book recently, and I'm trying to get him.
Not instead of us.
No, as a guest speaker in addition. Yeah, we're gonna do like a duet. And yeah, we've done this. We've done it in the past, and it was really great. People got to see it, as they say, live. By the way, people at the end, come on in. You're gonna get me to shout, and I'm not gonna last the 2 hours you're gonna milk out of me. So, come on down. Yeah. We'll play musical chairs for a couple of minutes.
Again? I guess.
There you go. צחי, בוא, תביא אותם פנימה. תתקרב גם
צחי, אתה
אתה.
רוצה לבוא?
תיקח את הקורסת, אני אקח את זה.
Yeah, there you go. Bring the rogalach with you.
אל תביא,
Okay.
תשאיר את זה שם.
Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with a small experiment. But by the way, before we do that, I already introduced myself as Paz, but I would like to give you guys an opportunity to introduce yourselves. So please do the same whenever you guys have a question for me. Feel free to let me know your name so that I can refer back to your names. Yes.
What is the meaning of your name?
Paz? Paz has a couple of meanings. It means both shiny and gold. So you can pick whichever, but that kind of gives the context, puts the whole series in a new light, right? Paz speaking about money and speaking about making money. So here we go. Erev Tov, Bruchim Habayim. Okay, so we're going to be discussing the whole concept and idea of money and how Judaism looks at money and how we make money, how we earn money, the meaning of money in our lives, the meaning it should have in our lives if it's not the right one. But first we'll start with a little game. Pass this around. Now everybody examine it. Take a nice look at it.
We're not Moroccans, right?
Some of us are.
Some of us are.
I grew amongst. And you pass this around and just pass it on and bring it back to me from both different
We
directions.
have a better deal.
There you go.
הולכים להביא את זה.
כן.
So,
מתחילים עכשיו.
Are you Moroccan?
am I Moroccan? No, but I grew up amongst Moroccans, so I've got a little bit of the...
יש לנו פה התערבות דרך אגב. היא ולה, כן.
Uh-huh. That?
Yeah, I actually said that you're Yemenite.
Uh-huh.
She said that you're from India.
India and Yemenite. I got both in the past. I both got Brazilian and Moroccan, none of which is actually true.
Okay.
I love Yemenite food. I get along with Moroccans great. When I used to dance, I used to dance Brazilian dances. But I'm none of those. Keep guessing, keep the bet going. Just, you know.
So we're on the wrong track.
You're not exactly on the wrong track. You're in the right continent.
Libyan,
Almost.
Algerian.
Wow, it's not gonna work if you're gonna just
Morocco.
shoot the whole continent now. Okay.
Tunisia.
No.
Morocco.
Egypt.
Egypt is good, you know. I've never gotten Egyptian before because they're pretty white Egyptians.
Yeah, my father was born in Egypt.
Ah, there you go. You see?
Because a lot of Ashkenazi origin in Egypt.
Ah, that's the idea. Okay. The money. Keep it rolling.
Oh yeah, give it to me. Thank you very much. I don't know how much.
There you go. Okay. So everybody got a piece, got a few moments with each, right? Everybody held this and held that. Now, who would like to share with me your initial instinct when you hold the knife and when you hold the money? What do you feel? What do you think? What comes to mind when you see this?
I feel uncomfortable.
You feel uncomfortable already. Yes. You?
Scary and uncomfortable.
Scary and
Uncomfortable.
uncomfortable.
Hoping not to get stabbed.
Hoping not to get stabbed.
I'm
Is that
blonde.
because I'm black? No, I'm just kidding. Anyone else would like to give me their feelings about this?
I think that the money is actually the reward, and the knife is actually the effort that you have to put into.
Very good. Okay. Okay, so you look at this as work.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay, now, this knife can symbolize, can technically be used for many different things. What could it be used for?
Cutting.
Stab. Okay, anything else?
Cutting.
Cutting what?
Cutting food.
Food.
Salad, whatever.
That's right? I mean, who's been to a good, decent restaurant in the last month? Very good. You paid, I'm assuming, a little bit more than 50 shekels for your meal. That meal would not have reached your plate without one of these. It's not possible. I don't care what you order, even if you ordered, grilled cheese. You'd need a knife to make it. We get the idea?
Yeah.
Though nobody thought about money when they held the knife. Food. Nobody thought about food when they held it. Nobody said, steak. Because why not? I mean, everybody, who here has a kitchen they cook in? Okay. Do you have knives longer than standard eating knives? Do you hold knives that are roughly this size
Yeah.
in your kitchen? Why didn't you think about your kitchen when you held it?
Because there was no association.
Very good. There was no association and our brain immediately went to murder, death, don't kill me, don't stab me, please. Right? So our natural convention is to take things where?
Negative.
Oh, you gotta give him some coffee, this guy. Okay, I didn't mention that. Let me explain. What I do for a living is called coaching. Have you guys heard of coaching? Mm-hmm. Yeah? You know what, everybody in the room knows what coaching is? Not sports coaching. I do life coaching, I do marital coaching, a little bit of business coaching. So that means that my lectures are not lectures. These are group discussions. I throw an idea into the room, we discuss it all together, we bring in everybody's intakes, and we try to walk away more enlightened and have gained new ideas and perspective on things we already know. Very rarely do I actually bring new information into the room. Usually it's just a new perspective on old information. So feel free to talk, feel free to mention, feel free to ask, and feel free to disagree with me. Because that's what tonight is about, and that's what the next 4 nights are going to be about. Game? Excellent. Okay. Who wants to give me some text about this?
Shopping.
Oh, there we go. Shopping with a big smile on, right?
Yeah.
Stealing.
Still, that's right. $100 bill.
In God we trust.
In God we trust. Now everybody else pays cash. What else?
Good feeling.
A good feeling, right? Okay. What else?
Desire.
I'm sorry?
Desire.
Desire. Desire for?
תאווה. ליבר תאווה.
Ta'ava. Oh, what? Ahava, lust. Wow, okay, very strong feelings. Okay, so money is bringing out some more positive feelings in us, right? It's bringing out passion, it's bringing out desire, want, wills. It bringing out the ability to fulfill potentials. Okay? The biggest issue we have with wealth is our conventions. I'll give you guys an example. A guy pulls up next to you, relatively young guy, driving a brand new white convertible BMW. What's the first thing that comes to mind about the guy?
Here in Israel,
Yeah, right here in Israel.
he's a gangster.
He's a gangster. That's right, he's a gangster. Okay, what other possibilities do we have?
Mafia.
Mafia. Okay, very good. Mafia. What else?
But that's
Politician.
I'm sorry?
Show off.
He's a show-off. Okay, what else?
Politician.
He's a politician. As we said, gangster, mobster, politician. Okay.
Rich father.
Rich father. That's right.
The thing is that if you can afford the BMW, so you can afford many other things in life,
Uh-huh.
which many other people cannot afford.
Okay. So, what do we think or feel about him?
That he's a strong person, that he has the ability to achieve things. That
Ah,
others
he's
cannot
a
achieve.
strong person. He's the ability to achieve. Okay?
Excuse me.
Yes.
What if the BMW is a gift? How do
Oh,
you know
there we go.
whether it's not?
Well,
That's
we don't
right.
know, but it's association.
We're talking about the first thing that comes to our mind when we see it. The first thing that comes to our mind when we see it is usually something negative. And why is that so? Because we have negative associations with wealth. Let's try and see how that comes about. Why did we not take it to the place of maybe he's just an excellent businessman? He had a brilliant idea, made some good money. He studied law at a very young age, became an excellent lawyer, has been taking good cases and making money.
Give him some credit.
Give him some credit, because as somebody told me very recently, he says even if he is very young and bright and he made money, he probably made it in a crooked way. Okay? Which means that if you're rich, you're probably either crooked or a thief or so on and so forth, right? That's the association we have with wealth, which makes the next experiment quite funny and interesting. You get a knock on the door, and a suited lawyer lets you know that your very, very, very rich but not very well-known uncle from Switzerland has just passed away. And though you don't know him and you've never met him, he left in his will specific instructions to hand you his huge fame and fortune. You are about to become a very rich man, but we cannot tell you the amount before you show up tomorrow at the law firm. Now, you go home and you tell everybody the good news, and right off the bat, just like our nice friends here, they start making bets as to how much you've earned. Okay? Now, please, we'll just go around the room and tell me the amount of money you hope the will hold. Go for it.
$500,000
$500,000 what? US.
Or euros, yeah.
Or
Or
euros.
Swiss francs.
$500,000.
$500,000 anything.
Yeah? Big smile on your face, $500,000?
Sure.
There you go. Okay, good.
After taxes.
$100,000.
$100,000. You're a happy man. You take a cab to the law firm, right? You're not going to ride the bus now anymore. There you go.
$15 trillion.
$15 trillion. Excellent. Excellent. Okay. What do we have next?
Yeah. Trillion, gazillion.
All those numbers I don't know how to pronounce, or yeah. I don't know the names off, but I want them, right? Okay, let's go on.
50,000 pounds.
50,000 pounds. That translates to about $100,000? Okay.
$1 million.
$1 million? Okay, which 50 of course goes to your wife. There we go. Okay. Yes.
Question.
The question is your uncle, which you never heard of, died and left you a will.
Heritage.
Left your heritage. That's right.
And
How much do you hope it is?
good question.
Give me a number.
$1 million.
$1 million
Yeah.
US? Excellent.
10 million.
10 million. Nice job. Okay.
That's what I was, exact same thing I was thinking.
10 million. So,
Aussie.
so that's the thing,
You
huh?
know, we get it.
The guys from down under agree on the thing. Okay. What about you?
1 million pounds.
Million pounds. Excellent. Excellent. So it's about $2 million, right? Roughly? Yes, Yonatan. Yeah, better.
100 million, I don't know.
100 million what? Pounds? You're also the British thing, huh? Excellent.
British
What
thing
about you?
right now.
I'll say 5 million just to be a little.
On the safe side.
5 million, huh?
Well, someone's idea.
Okay.
I'll say 500,000
Aussie dollar.
$500,000? Dollars. Nobody's going for shekels at all. Okay? Very funny. Everybody lives here. Nobody even wants any of it.
It is pocket money.
15 million euros.
15 million euros. Okay, excellent. It's tradable. Very good.
$50 billion.
$50 billion. You joined you joined that group. Excellent. I'm with you. Okay, shoot for it.
10 million euros.
10 million euros. That at all. Okay, excellent.
Whatever Hashem is stored for me.
That's what I'm asking. What is it stored for you? Give it a guess.
Whatever Hashem.
I don't know. Give it a guess.
I guess.
A guess. You know when you get a gift and you go shakalaka and you try to
Whatever
guess
is,
it?
Whatever there is.
I don't know what's in there, but try to guess. Give it a number. Throw something in there.
8,000 shekels.
8,000 shekels. Excellent.
800,000, so 800.
800,000 shekels.
That's the difference.
800,000 shekels, we're looking at about $200,000.
Well, I try to be realistic. $1 million?
$1 million is realistic.
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
עכשיו תורי.
Yes.
חי שקלים.
So you are going to take the bus to the lawyer.
Yeah.
Okay,
One
excellent.
gets a change.
He's going to walk, right? You heard about this stingy father. He was so cheap, he was horrible. So his son comes to him one day trying to make him happy. He says, Daddy, you could be very proud of me. He says, what? He says, I saved 5 shekels today. He said, how did you do that? He said, instead of coming back from school by bus, I ran after the bus and I got here by foot. So I saved 5 shekels. He said, oh, you idiot, you could have saved 20 if you would have ran after a cab. Okay? So we're going to try to save money other ways. Excellent. Okay, so we've got, now I'm going to run numbers by here. 3 people are exempt from this question, and I'm going to ask the following question. You got not 100, not 200, not a million, not 100 million, you got $1 billion. How does that make you feel? Your first, one word, first feeling.
Omnipotent.
Huh?
Omnipotent.
Omnipotent. Translate for those who are
Like very all-powerful. Like very-
all powerful. Wow.
Okay.
Right? What about you?
Scared.
Scared. You have no problem. It's a little less than you
No,
hoped
it's not
for.
really $1 billion after taxes. It's more like $500 million.
With $1 billion, you can get good lawyers and tax consultants.
And they'll
don't pay
take the
taxes.
50%.
We'll talk about it. You're not going to pay taxes. Check out Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You're not going to pay taxes. Don't worry about it. So what's your feeling? Disappointed, huh?
A little bit.
A little bit. What about you?
I'll be well chuffed.
You'll be what?
Well chuffed.
Which
Very
is?
happy.
Very happy. Right? Even though it's less than you hoped for. Okay, what about the nice couple?
I'd be happy.
Happy. That's your first instinct. They tell you got $1 billion, you say, wee!
Yeah.
Excellent.
I know this is going to seem crazy. I'd be unappreciative.
Give it over.
What?
And I'll just say that it just makes me think about our Shavuot thing, this last Shabbat. and the food was unbelievable. And there was just so much of it. And the first night was amazing. By the second breakfast, I was sick of food. Actually, couldn't bear the thought of going to breakfast and having breakfast in the dining room. And lunch just got worse, and by then the Shavuot's over. And I suppose that's what the billion would cause as well, that same effect.
It's okay. I'm your friend, and I would like to help you with your sorrows and difficulties. Call me.
Just lie in bed all day.
Call me.
Count the money.
I'll take care of you. Just give me a call. Excellent. What about you? You get the news is it's $1 billion. What do you feel now?
I'm going to have to hire a self-control therapist.
Excellent. Okay. What about the Australians in the back?
I'd be relieved. I wouldn't have to worry about it anymore.
Excellent. Okay.
Ecstatic.
Ecstatic. Wow. Okay. What about you?
I'm grateful to a college role.
$1 billion. You feel grateful. Wonderful. Very good. Go on. You're ecstatic. Okay.
I'll stick with good old happy.
Happy.
Well, yeah.
Wow, it takes a lot to make you happy. $1 billion. Okay.
I would be grateful.
Grateful. Okay.
I'd be in shock. Wouldn't know where to start.
Okay.
I would be free.
You feel free. Excellent. Okay.
I feel like I have a big responsibility.
Big responsibility.
Yeah.
Wow, very nice. What about you? What's your first instinct?
Grateful and astounded and wouldn't
Grateful,
know-
astounded.
yeah,
Okay.
wouldn't know-
Excellent.
Don't know how to handle it, but it's what I do.
Okay.
Relieved, a few worries less in life.
A few. Just a couple.
Few.
There you go. What?
I will marry a Chinese chick.
Why would you marry Chinese chicks?
Can do that without $1 billion.
With the years, like Mark Zuckerberg. That's what he did. Before
I get it.
Go marry for us.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's what he did with $1 billion. So yeah.
He
The
wants
say
the
is a smart
Jewish
guy,
son-in-law.
so yeah.
Tov, בסדר גמור. So we had the following. We had a wish for money and what we thought would make us happy. And then when faced with a much larger amount, or in some cases smaller amount, the feeling was great. In most cases, everybody said, wow, I'm overwhelmed, I'm happy, I'm ecstatic, right? Well, if you're so happy, overwhelmed, and ecstatic, why didn't you wish for $1 billion? I mean, you guys just said that $1 billion would make you, let me go back, happy, ecstatic, free, relieved. Why didn't you wish for it? One of the reasons we don't allow ourselves to wish for it is because we have negative conventions about what money is. In our subconscious lies around sentences such as, money is the root of all evil, or all life's troubles start with money, or make a guy rich and watch him miserable because money does not make you happy. And, health is the most important thing in life. And what other conventions? Yeah.
Money must be funny and a rich man as well.
Money must be funny and rich as
No,
well.
but you didn't ask us how much we wished for. You asked us to guess how much we thought we were getting.
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference.
Nobody stopped you from guessing $1 billion.
But a guess is something that you try and rationalize what you think. It's not a wish.
Do you know this uncle from Switzerland? Have you heard of him? Do you know anything about him?
No.
Maybe he owns half of Switzerland. $1 billion is nothing. It's just one of his buildings. You see, your imagination won't let you go there.
No, you wish for something realistic so you won't get disappointed.
How much did you wish for?
10 million.
That's realistic and you're not going to get disappointed. How many uncles do you have that have $10 million?
So then my wish was good.
Now, answer the question. How many uncles do you have that are going to leave you $10 million?
None.
then you have unrealistic wishes anyway. Why don't you wish for $1 billion and be ecstatic as you said you're going to be?
I wasn't wishing. I was guessing.
That's right. But you don't have any uncles. Guess $1 billion. Who cares? You see what I mean? Anyway, you look at it, our minds limit us to a place where we feel comfortable because we need to justify it. We need to justify what we have. And I can only justify 10 million, 5 million, 2, this, that, you know? I don't feel like I can justify $1 billion. Well, there's no reason why not. There's no reason why every single one in this room cannot have $1 billion. It's not like there is a finite amount of money in the world and we have to divide it, and if each one of us will get $1 billion, there'll be nothing left, right? Money doesn't have a plural. How much is a lot of money? It's still called money. Why doesn't it have a plural? Because it's like water. You can't count it. There's no end to it. There's no finite amount of money. Money is a concept. You can make it as much of it as you want. There's no limit. But we don't always want all of it. And some of people in the room say the words, it comes with responsibility, it comes with negative conventions. We don't always believe that a lot of money will be good for us. It could actually be harmful, overpowering, overwhelming were some of the feelings in the room, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be this way. We're going to now look a little bit in world's philosophy about money to try and see where did these distorted ideas come into our heads from. Okay? Now the world divides into two major philosophies. The Far East says the less material things you have, the happier you are. So, you know, the biggest and greatest Far East gurus sit on some mountain, owning nothing, meditating, eating a bowl of rice a day, and trying to reach nirvana that way. Western civilization took the exact opposite perspective. They said, you want to be happy? What do you need? You need 100 gazillion, bazillion dollars, right? And we see the greater you are in the Western world, the more extravagant you are, the more wealthy you are, the more luxurious your life is. Okay, I heard there is a show that's called $1 million rooms or something like that, where they go and they film rooms in people's home that cost $1 million to build. I don't know what you put in a room costing $1 million, but that's what they're filming. Okay, so we get the concept. These two civilizations took the concept of money and divided it into either it is going to ruin your happiness or it's going to bring you happiness. But that's what money will do to you or for you. And that's roughly what sinks in. And then we live in contradiction. On one hand, we want it, right? People felt the $100 bill and put smiles on their faces, by most cases, right? If I could turn the camera, most people holding the $100 bill had a bit of a smile, like that one. There we go. And on the other hand, we have the Far East pounding in on us saying, you're not going to be happy, you need to sit on top of some mountain meditating, eating a bowl of rice. And that's what's going to make you happy. And that contradiction in there causes us a distortion. It causes us confusion. It sticks us in a dilemma which leaves us unhappy whether we have the money or we don't have the money. Okay? So the fact that we wish for 10 million or 1 million or 500,000 means we're not quite happy yet, because we will be happier if we had it. And the fact that $1 billion made us even more happy, which means even if we would have gotten the $10 million, we wouldn't be happy. So there's almost no way to make us happy with money, because we're stuck in between two different philosophies which we cannot bring to a mutual understanding and love. Okay? So then we go all the way back to yesterday, and yesterday we got the Torah on Mount Sinai, right? That was Shavuot, the receiving of the Torah. And we go out checking what does the Torah have to teach us about money, because there is nothing the Torah does not speak about. And by the way, this is one of the beauties of the Torah. There is nothing it doesn't speak about. There is no such thing as walking to the rabbi and saying, Rabbi, what does the Torah say about this, this and that? And it says, we don't talk about this. There is no such thing as we don't talk about this. We talk about everything. It's amazing. Sometimes I read the Gemara and I'm like, I don't believe they actually wrote that down. You know, they actually wrote it down. How? They actually sat down and discussed it and wrote it down. And I'm talking about from the most simplest, people might look at it as unimportant things, to advices that can change people's life overnight. Some of which we're going to learn here about money. So what does Judaism teach about money? Judaism has a very interesting perspective about money. And let's look at some examples, and later on we'll study the actual philosophy. Moshe was leading the nation of Israel out of Egypt. Now, God decided to give them a lot of gifts. The first set of gifts was, go out, ask the Egyptians to borrow everything they have, you know, all the good stuff, you know, don't let them give you their garbage, you know, 99-cent store, you know, bought it at Thrifty or Kmart kind of stuff. Get them to give you, you know, the Macy's, the makeup, you know, the good, expensive Rodeo Drive kind of stuff. And they collect all of that stuff and they come out of Egypt. The poorest Jew coming out of Egypt had 7 camels carrying wealth. That's a lot of wealth. Camels can lift a lot. Okay? They then arrive at the sea parts, and they go through it, and after all the Egyptians drown, they get a second wave of wealth. All the jewelry, all the diamonds, gold, everything Egypt managed to rob from every country in the Middle East for the last 200 years. Just washed to shore, and the Jews went over and just picked it all up. The only thing was that while everybody was busy gaining ridiculous amount of wealth, Moses was busy looking for the burial place of Yosef, because the Jewish nation promised Yosef that when they leave, they're going to take Yosef with them. So he went looking for it, and when he came back, there was no money left. So basically, the leader of the Jewish nation ended up being one of, if not the most poor person in the nation. God says, my leader needs to be rich. So when Moses goes up to the mountain to carve the stones were carved from a very, very expensive and rare stone. Whatever was left from the carving, Moses got as a gift and became a very wealthy person. Okay?
But doesn't God not pick kings that are too rich?
I'm sorry?
Isn't there a thing about kings not being too rich?
Why?
I don't know where I read it, but
והרבה סוסים, משהו כזה.
You shouldn't have too many horses.
isn't
Not
about
wealth.
them being too wealthy. So
No,
they
no.
can't be a part of the
Adrabah, the more the better.
I think it's a Rambam.
Our biggest king ever was Shlomo. Shlomo.
Zeu, that was-
Our richest king was Shlomo. No limit. Adrabah, the more the better. Okay?
סליחה, כתוב, אל תרבה לך סוסים, לא?
You shouldn't have too many horses, so you won't be tempted to take the nation back down to Egypt. They have excellent horses. Not wealth. Wealth, have many. Have a lot. Why not? The more the merrier. Okay? This is just one example. Let's look at the fathers, our founding fathers, Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. They started off as poor. God made them filthy rich. Filthy is not the right word, right? Why do we use filthy for rich? Anybody knows, by the way, where this association came from, filthy and rich? We don't know. Stingy, filthy rich, smelly rich, we don't know. Because back in the days, Europe was ruled by Arachim, people who owned the land, okay? And people around them were working the land for them. There were only renters on the land. So when one of these poor people used to die, they used to bury them right away before they'll stink up. When one of the rich people used to die, the body used to lay around sometimes days in a row for people to come and pay their respects from counties around. So when people used to go over to the rich people's funeral, what did you used to smell? Stingy, smelly, rich people. That's where the association, by the way, came from. Our founding fathers were extremely wealthy. Extremely wealthy. They had so much wealth. At some points it was near immeasurable. Okay? We're going to fast forward. In the times of the Gemara, there was a Jewish spiritual leader for the nation. Okay? Now, it continued throughout time. Also, when there were kings, there was also a Nasi. A Nasi is what we today ridiculously call prime minister or president, which was the spiritual leader of the nation. Either Kohen Gadol or Nasi. Nasi is the one who leads the... For a Nasi to be a Nasi, there are conditions. And here's a little story. You know how in the Haggadah we say, Ben Azai Omer, Hare Ani Keven 70 Shana. I am as though I'm as old as 70 years. What's the story behind that? Well, they needed to remove the spiritual leader that was before him, and they didn't know who to put instead of him. And they were looking for options. And they looked for one person, and they said, you know, he's a great choice, but his parents were not such righteous people. So he doesn't have yichus, he doesn't have a very powerful family to come from. They looked at another person, he said, he doesn't have wealth. They looked at Ben Azai and he says, look, he comes from a good family, and if he doesn't have wealth, we'll give him wealth, but he's very young. But nonetheless, we can still make him our leader, our spiritual leader. They made him a spiritual leader, and he prayed to God that he would be accepted by the people even though he's very young. And overnight, his beard went white, and he looked as if he was 70 years old. Pseder? So we see that one of the conditions to being even a spiritual leader is what? Well, you gotta be rich. And if you're not rich and we want to make you a leader, we gotta make you rich. Okay? So Judaism is definitely not siding with the Far East. Money is called a very positive thing. We're in a synagogue, Baruch Hashem, right? Anybody who happens to wander in, depending on which synagogue you're in, Sephardi, Ashkenazi, Hasidi, if you wander in on Shabbat, you're definitely going to get Birkat Kohanim. As long as there's Kohanim in the crowd. By the way, any Kohanim in here? Oh wow, we've got two of them.
Hillel isn't considered a leader?
I'm sorry?
Hillel.
אני לא חושב שהלל היה הנשיא. I don't think Hillel was the head of the Sanhedrin. Okay? Yonatan, Hillel was the head of the Sanhedrin? I don't think he was the head of the... No, he wasn't the head of the Sanhedrin. No, he wasn't the head of the Sanhedrin. בסדר? Now we have two Kohanim. Now, quick test.
Sure, I lost. Don't make it sure. Don't make it sure about it.
No, it's an easy one. It's an easy one. Shavuot was yesterday, right? We prayed
Yeah, sure.
in the Chazara twice, right? Both in the Shacharit and in the Musaf. They called you up to the Bima.
Yeah.
They didn't actually call you, but you had to come. Right before Modin. And you get covered with the talit. And we're not playing peekaboo. We're actually blessing the people, right? We're praying for God to bless the people. So we split our fingers up either like this, right? As Kohanim. I'm not a Kohen, by the way, but I'm a firstborn, so I'm hoping that the Keuna goes back to the firstborns and I'll get to do it again. Okay? And we go like this, and you guys go like this, and then you start blessing the people. There are three blessings you give the people, right? First blessing right off the bat is for health. No, I don't think so, right? No. So you should be righteous. No, that's not it either. What's the first thing we bless the people with? You should be Yevarecha Hashem. God should bless you and keep you. And then we look and say, wait a second, bless you with what? So we look up in the sages, right? Today I called up a friend of mine and I'm like, look, you know the Gemara, where does it say this, and that? And he's like, in such and such place. I'm like, wow, that was very quick. He said, yeah, I checked on Google. I'm like, come on. Okay, I expected more.
I Googled it.
Yeah, you shouldn't be Googling it. Okay, if we look at the sages' writing in the Gemara, what does Yevarechecha mean?
According to Rashi?
According to anyone, there's no double opinions. If there are not two opinions, there are not three. Everybody agrees it's one thing. What's Yevarechecha?
I think as far as I know,
You should be blessed with
commodities or
money. Well, first things first, right? Kohen goes out on the stage and says you should have a lot of money, all of you. And the next thing, Vishmerecha, right? You should be saved and secured from what? Be saved and secured from people who are going to rub it off of you. That's right, Mas Achnasa. You see? All you have to do, go get Birkat Kohanim and you're going to handle taxes quite well. Don't worry about it. Okay? So, wait a second. That's the first things that God commanded the Kohanim to bless the people of Israel with? The answer is, well, this is it. We're not going to discuss reality. This is reality, right? Okay? So yeah, first thing, Yevarecha Hashem v'yishmerecha, you should be blessed with a lot of money and saved from bad people who want to take it away from you, from crooks.
That's in the Gemara.
Mm-hmm.
The source.
By the way, this is not a lot of things in Judaism has different opinions, and this is very straightforward. There are some halachot that nobody disputes, nobody discusses it. For example, reading Shnai Mikra Echad Targum. Nobody says, no, you don't have to, or you should read it 3 times, or nothing like that. There are certain things, straightforward. Tefillin, everybody agrees it's black? Yes. Anybody ever heard of green tefillin? Yellow, purple, orange? Nothing.
It's possible to do so, isn't it?
No. You could do it, but it's not going to be takin. It's a pasul. It's like putting on, the blood, blood pressure thing. Has the same effect. Okay? So there are certain things that are straightforward, no discussions about. Birkat Kohanim is one of them. Yevarecha Hashem v'yishmerecha, money. Okay? So God looks very positively at what? At money. We look at rich people with a potential positive way. I take it back. We look at wealth in a positive way. Wealth is a good thing. we're not being blessed by negative things, right? The Kohanim do not go there and say, I hope you have an ingrown toenail. Right? We're blessed with good things. So if we're blessed with good things and we're blessed with money, money must be a good thing. Everybody followed the math? It wasn't too complicated, right? You follow me, right? Money is a good thing. Money is a positive thing. Our founding fathers, money.
Depends
Right?
on your goal, though. On your goal and intention.
Rabbi, it depends what it's used for.
Oh, depends on what it's used for. Very good. That is the distinction. We don't look at any single thing as good or bad. Things don't have meanings. This doesn't have any meaning. This has absolutely no meaning. It's not a good thing.
But we give it meaning.
You choose to give it whatever meaning you want.
Yeah.
This could be what I use to make lunch for my kids or for a homeless person, and this is what I use to hire an assassin to kill my neighbor. I mean, okay?
I thought I got buzzed.
Did I mention I lived in LA for a long time? Okay? I lived in LA. So,
It's getting better.
yeah, it is. Okay. Why it costs $200 now to hire somebody? What does better mean? 3. Okay. So, in Judaism, with the exception of Avodah Zarah, everybody knows what Avodah Zarah is? Avodah Zarah is idol worship. Okay, if an item is of idol worship, then the item itself we have issues and problems with. With the exception of idol worship, items have no meaning. They get their meaning from what we intend to them. Pseder? Their meaning comes from our intentions. If a person writes a Sefer Torah, a holy Torah book that's sitting in Aron HaKodesh, and his intention was to write a fairy tale, to write the history of the Jewish nation, this Torah cannot be put in Aron HaKodesh, even though it's perfectly accurate and was written by all the rules of writing. Our intentions make things what they are. That makes the difference between a cup of water and a holy cup of water. What? I bless on it. My intention is what gives things meaning. Unlike other nations, money is not the root of all evil, and money is not great. Money is a means to an end. You decide the end, but we would like you to have the means. Okay? So, in conclusion, before we start taking questions, and before you get your homework, by the way, there's homework. Surprise! No, it's good homework. You're gonna like it. We don't talk negatively about money, and we don't talk positively about money. We look positively at wealth because we look positively at any potential. Potential is good. All you have to do is use it for good. Now, why in Judaism we don't have a problem handing you over potential and blessing you with potential? Because we teach you what to do with it. You see, potential is a dangerous thing in the hands of somebody who doesn't know how to use it. You wouldn't put a knife in the hands of a kid because he doesn't know how to use it. You would put it in the hands of a chef or a
How
mohel.
do you use potential?
I'm sorry?
Potential, by definition, is something that can never be fulfilled.
It cannot be fulfilled while it's in potential form.
Right.
This, in its current form, cannot do anything but light cigarettes. Right? But if I teach you what to do with it, and I teach you the right thing to do with it, I have no problem putting this potential in your hands. So that's why I don't have a problem blessing you with a lot of wealth. Knowing you have the Torah, you can know what's the right thing to do with it is, which we are going to learn in the next 3 sessions. our curriculum for the next 3 sessions is very simple. What should we do to gain wealth? What should we do to protect our wealth? What should we do with our wealth? Okay? Real simple. That's what we've gathered here to do, to become very, very, very rich. Okay? Excellent. Now,
Or richer.
I'm sorry?
Richer.
Ah,
Perhaps richer.
very, very much richer. I'm definitely there. Okay, now, we are gonna do the following. First things first is, by the way, if people don't have pens and papers, you should grab some now, because these advices are gonna get complex quick. Actually, not that complex, but they're good. Okay, first things first, make a list of all the negative conventions, expressions, ideas, thoughts, or idioms you've heard about money. Make a big list and keep making that list. Leave that Word document open, and every time you hear something new, go back to it and put it in.
Can you please repeat? Make a list of negatives?
All the negative idioms, expressions, ideas, concepts, conventions we have about money. Make a huge list. Make a big Word document. That's right. Don't worry. It's going to go on hopefully on YouTube, so you get to write it down later on.
Excellent.
I know. Okay.
Is it negative?
Yeah, all the negative
Would
ones.
you like a paper?
Okay. Next thing, next assignment. Take these concepts out of your vocabulary.
You mean eliminate?
Eliminate them out of your vocabulary. Anybody read 1984?
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
1984. It's a book that was written before 1984. It was
And before Facebook.
kind of like a prophecy, a science fiction prophecy. One of the ideas about it, how the government is gonna, like the concept of Big Brother is taken from that book.
Okay.
And the idea over there is that we can program or reprogram our minds using language.
Okay.
So we're going to reprogram our minds using language by eliminating certain concepts from our speech. Okay? Next idea. Next homework assignment. Put cash in your pockets at all times. The bigger the bills, the better. You don't have to have a big wand of it to attract people, but you should always be able to put your hand in your pocket and pull out a nice bill.
What's the point of this? We find out next week.
That's my boy. My assignments are kind of like wax on, wax off. You first do it, you come back next week, and you learn what you've learned. Fair game? Everybody agrees to play the game, by the way?
Not sure.
Excellent.
Perhaps.
By the way, if my references are too old, that's because I'm old. And you can always rent Karate Kid and watch it. Okay?
You download it today.
You download it today. I'm
He's a
old.
rabbi, so he said you gotta rent it. So you gotta pay for
Water
it.
money and sort of pay you what is
Good
straight.
culture.
I'm sorry?
Couldn't that be we were probably pulling out a big water money and sort of, you know,
No, not a big one. Just a large bill or two. Large bill or two. That's it. Hold a couple of bills up. $100, $200 bill. You know, just put it in your pocket. And I'm sorry. Just have it in your pocket. Just have it in your pocket. You know, you should you don't have to flaunt it. You don't have to play with it. You don't have to touch it. You just have to have it there. We have to be comfortable with money, with the simplest of money, just with pure old, good old cash. Okay? Next idea. Wherever you sit or work or whatever you are, put some money in front of you. Now this doesn't have to be a large amount. You can put a jar, a little bowl or a cup, as long as it's transparent, and put money in it. Every day, put a little bit of money in it. I don't care what, a shekel, 2 shekel, quarter, 10 shekels, $100 bills, whatever you feel like throwing in there. Just have it sitting in front of you. If you sit at a desk, put it in front of you. If you drive around, put it in your cup holder. Say there?
Keep filling it up.
Every single day, put something in it.
Like a piggy bank. Yeah.
Like tzedakah.
Kind of like a piggy bank, but without any specific purpose. Don't make it a charity. Don't make it anything like that. Just have it there. It shouldn't have a specific purpose. Remember, wax on, wax off.
Can we take the money out of there or just?
No, just leave it there.
So it's accumulating.
It's accumulating. It's going in. It's not coming out. It's just sitting in there. No specific.
Secure, not
No specific purpose.
not so other people can take it.
It's up to you. You do with it as you wish, but you should have it. Okay? Last question. You all said a sum of money that you were thinking, hoping, wishing, guessing your rich dad, uncle from Switzerland left you. Make a list of everything you would do with that money. And I mean everything, down to the last penny.
You and me, we're not going to be doing anything for the rest of our lives.
Okay? Everything you're going to be doing with it. I mean, that's one of the first questions Bill Gates was asked, right? What are you going to do with all the money? You can't spend it. What will you do with it? I'm asking you the same questions. Maybe you can spend it. I don't know. Tell me what you're going to spend it on. Say that. These are your assignments. You are more than welcome to call me up. Second option, SMS me. Third and worst option, email me with any questions about these assignments. If you find difficulty in any of them and you're unable to proceed, please contact me so that I will give you either an alternative assignment or help you through, so that next week we're all on the same page, having done these assignments, and can progress forward to the next session, which will start discussing some practical advices both from the business world, research, and lehavdil, the Gemara, on how to make a lot of money. Now, any questions about the concepts and ideas we studied tonight? Any rebukes? Yes.
Does wealth have to do with like comparing to someone else? You know, because I was thinking when you said when Jews left Egypt and they took all the Egyptians' money, they were just like by themselves in the desert for 40 years. So how are you wealthy if like you're not comparing to anyone else?
Excellent question. Very good. Now, when the nations around and every single nation in the world heard that the nation of Israel went out of Egypt and they're rich and loaded and traveling the desert, they all came in to trade with them, sell them things. Okay? They brought this wealth in with them into the land of Israel, settled in as a very rich nation. So, and in addition to that, your wife receiving a diamond ring doesn't care if she's in the middle of the desert. She's still happy. Okay? Now, if you don't believe me, we can just take a poll. Ladies, if you happen to be on a deserted island, stuck with no means of getting off, yet your husband somehow manages to find and bring you a diamond necklace, will you be a little happier now that you've received it?
There's no one to show it off to.
Well, nonetheless, the answer is yes. Right? Anybody disagrees? You see?
Doesn't buy me.
I'm sorry?
Doesn't buy me.
Doesn't buy you?
No.
Doesn't make you a little happier? Not a problem. I can help you with that. Next time you receive a diamond necklace, call my wife. Excellent, guys. So if there are no more questions, I will give you my email address. Here, you can copy it off of this. Just pass it to whoever doesn't have it. Okay? And my phone number is also over there. The one on the left is my phone number.
Also on Facebook.
And we're also on Facebook. I'm not very Facebook. Remember the options? The first, call me. Second thing, SMS me. Third, if you absolutely have to and have no other choice, email me. Well, if you're stuck on a deserted island and all you have is a Facebook connection, then you can also Facebook me. Settle? But there is a Facebook page for this group, and we would love it if you checked in, because there are announcements there about coming lectures, speeches, this, that, and we would love your opinions about it. Okay? So pass it on to whoever needs my email address and phone number, so you guys can feel free to...
May I please pose a question?
Yes.
What do you have to say about people who do not strive for money?
Who do not strive for money?
Yes, not interested, who do not, never, I mean, even in, you know, as a child, as a teenager, as they grew up, you know, they didn't strive for money, or they didn't understand the concept of money, whether it's needed or, you know,
That's exactly one of the things we're going to hopefully fix during this seminar.
I mean, is
during
it
this
wrong? Is it wrong attitude? Is it wrong thinking? And
yes, we see in Judaism that wealth is a positive thing. You're being blessed with money. Why would you not want a blessing? If money is a blessing, why would I not want it? If I don't give importance to something I'm being blessed by God with, I need to fix my thoughts. I need to fix my perspective. I need to fix my convention about whatever I'm being blessed with. If I'm being blessed with kids and I don't like kids, well, it depends on who's blessing me. If God is blessing me with kids and I don't like kids, I got to fix my convention. If God is blessing me with a good husband and wife and I don't want a husband or wife, I got to fix my convention. If God is blessing me with health and I don't want health, I got to fix my convention. I got to fix my perspective. I have the wrong perspective because God is blessing me with it. Well, God is blessing us with money. Depending on if you're Ashkenazi or Sephardi, a few times a week. Yes.
But in some way, money can also be a curse.
Money is not a curse. What you do with it could be cursed.
Some people say too much money can be...
too much of it.
Too much. It's potential. There's no limit. God did not say you should be blessed with only so much money and not too much of it. He says, be blessed, Sefa, have it as much as you can possibly carry and then come back for more. The question is what you do with it. Right? Nobody's limiting you. I mean, I already brought the example of Bill Gates. Let's take a look at him. How much money does he have? Pretty much too much money, right? They asked him, what are you going to do with it? At least he claimed that it's going to charities. How's that a bad thing? You see the idea? Yes.
What is the Hebrew word that was used in the Torah to describe wealth or money, and what are the roots of the word? Like, is it kesef? Is it zahav? What is the word that they used to describe wealth?
Damim.
And what are the roots of that word?
The Torah itself uses shekel from the language of shokel, weighs, because you weigh money. You used to weigh money. The Gemara also calls it damim or zuzim, either damim or zuzim. Damim, as in blood. Okay? When you take somebody's wealth away, it's as if you murdered him. It's as if you killed him. Okay? And that was the way that Yaakov Avinu got away from the son of Esav. Esav was chasing after him, right? So he sends his son, go kill your uncle. Now, this son was a student of Yaakov Avinu. He comes to Yaakov Avinu and he's stuck. He's got a dilemma. On one hand, he's got to fill his father's command, kill your uncle. On the other hand, is his rabbi, is his teacher. He's stuck. He doesn't know what to do. Yaakov Avinu helped him resolve the dilemma. He said, look, take everything I own and I'll be as if I'm dead. Because a person who has nothing is the equivalent of being dead. And that's what happened to him. Yaakov Avinu arrived at Lavan's house having nothing, literally. Seder? On the other hand, it's also called zuzim because it moves around. Lazuz, to move. It moves around. Today it's in my pocket, tomorrow it's in your pocket, the next day it's in his pocket. These are the names we call money. Any other questions? To summarize the night, money is a good thing. Let's go wish and hope for it. Fulfill your assignments, they'll do their work. We are going to meet here, Be'ezrat Hashem, next week, same time, same place. Now we have a lot to accomplish and not a lot of time because we have to clear out the room at a certain time. So if everybody is here 8:25 sharp and we start at 8:30 sharp, we're going to achieve as much as we can possibly give. Thank you very much for coming tonight. Enjoyed it a lot. See you all next week. Laila tov.
Anyone who's new can put their emails because we'll send you the